My dear listeners, hello, my dear friends. So, here today I am going to read the next part of the story Adventures of Two Thieves and Their Son. In this story, till now, what we have seen? Till now, we have seen that the elder and the younger thief somehow they manage to distribute equally the possessions which they have gathered by their theft, and so now after that they have lived a very long life. But what happened next? For this we have to dig into the next part, the part 2 of the story. So let's start. The elder thief and the younger thief had one son each. As they had been so far successful in life by practicing the art of thieving, they resolved to train up their sons to the same profession. There was in the village a professor of the science of roguery who took pupils and gave them lessons in that difficult science. The two thieves put their sons under this renowned professor. The son of the elder thief distinguished himself very much and bade fair to surpass his father in the art of stealing. The lad's cleverness was tested in the following manner. Not far from the professor's house there lived a poor man in a hut, upon the thatch of which climbed a creeper of the gourd kind. In the middle of the thatch, which was also its topmost part, there was a splendid gourd which the man and his wife watched day and night. They certainly slept at night, but then the thatch was so old and rickety that if even a mouse went up to it, bits of straw and particles of earth used to fall inside the hut, and the man and his wife slept right below the spot where the gourd was, so that it was next to impossible to steal the gourd without the knowledge of its owners. The professor said to his pupils, for he had many, that anyone who stole the gourd without being caught would be pronounced the dux of the school. Our elder thief's son at once accepted the offer. He said he would steal away the gourd if he were allowed the use of three things, namely, a string, a cat, and a knife. The professor allowed him the use of these three things. 2 or 3 hours after nightfall, the lad, furnished with the three things mentioned above, sat behind the thatch under the eaves, listening to the conversation carried on by the man and his wife lying in bed inside the hut. In a short time, the conversation ceased. The lad then concluded that they must both have fallen asleep. He waited half an hour longer, and hearing no sound inside, gently climbed up on the thatch. Chips of straw and particles of earth fell upon the couple sleeping inside. The woman woke up and, rousing her husband, said, "Look, there someone is stealing the gourd." That moment the lad squeezed the throat of the cat, and puss immediately gave out her usual meow, meow, meow. The husband said, "Don't you hear the cat mewing? There is no thief. It is only a cat." The lad in the meantime cut the gourd from the plant with his knife and tied the string which he had with him to its stalk. But how was he to get down without being discovered and caught, especially as the man and the woman were now awake? The woman was not convinced that it was only a cat. The shaking of the thatch and the constant falling of bits of straw and particles of dust made her think that it was a human being that was upon the thatch. She was telling her husband to go out and see whether a man was not there, but he maintained that it was only a cat. While the man and woman were thus disputing with each other, the lad with great force threw down the cat upon the ground, on which the poor animal barked most vociferously, and the man said aloud to his wife, "There it is. You are now convinced that it was only a cat, huh?" In the meantime, during the confusion created by the clamor of the cat and the loud talk of the man, the lad quietly came down from the thatch with the gourd tied to the string. Next morning, the lad produced the gourd before his teacher and described to him and to his admiring comrades the manner in which he had committed the theft. The professor was in ecstasy and remarked, "The worthy son of a worthy father." But the elder thief, the father of our hopeful genius, was by no means satisfied that his son was as yet fit to enter the world. He wanted to prove him still further. Addressing his son, he said, "My son, if you can do what I tell you, I will think you fit to enter the world. If you can steal the gold chain of the queen of this country from her neck and bring it to me, I will think you fit to enter the world." The gift the gifted son readily agreed to do the daring deed. The young thief, for so we shall now call the son of the elder thief, made a reconscious made a reconnaissance of the place in which the king and queen lived. He reconnoitered all the four gates and all the outer and inner walls as far as he could, and gathered incidentally a good deal of information from people living in the neighborhood regarding the habits of the king and queen, in what part of the palace they slept, what guards there were near the bedchamber, and who, if any, slept in the antechamber. Armed with all this knowledge, the young thief fixed upon one dark night for doing the daring deed. He took with him a sword, a hammer, and some large nails, and put on very dark clothes. Thus accorded, thus accoutred, he went prowling about the lion gate of the palace before the zenana could be got at. Four doors, including the lion gate, had to be passed, and each of these doors had a guard of 16 stalwart men. The same men, however, did not remain all night at their post, as the king had an infinite number of soldiers at his command. The guards at the door were relieved every hour, so that once every hour at each door there were 32 men present, consisting of the relieving party and of the relieved. The young thief chose that particular moment of time for entering each of the four doors. At the time of relief, when he saw the lion gate crowded with 32 men, he joined the crowd without being taken notice of. He then spent the hour preceding the next relief in the large open space and garden between two doors, and he could not be taken notice of, as the night as well as his clothes was pitch dark. So we will come to know what happened next tomorrow. Till then, be safe, be happy, be jolly, and be healthy. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening the Shamoita Rupkathara, the folk tales of Bengal, and thank you for being so good and so humble. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, all my dear listeners. Thank you.